Recording is on. Recording.
We are live now.
Okay. Not showing. After that. Greetings from CGBMT School of Simple Living. We started our simple talks on the World Environment Day, 5th June 2020, and we started with talks on water, and now we are deliberating on earth. In this regard, we talked on biodiversity, agriculture, waste recycling, and then a 4-part series on natural building materials and technologies to address the shelter issues. In that, we had talks on mud, traditional building techniques, and building with natural materials. Today, we bring you another widely available material in South and Southeastern countries, bamboo. Thoroughly ingrained in the culture of these parts of the world, this wonder material has the capacity to change several equations in combating the current economic, social, and environmental issues all at the same time. It was the people materials, it is the people materials, and it will be the people's material even in this highly industrialized and mechanized world. A hearty welcome to all of you on our Simple Talks 15. We have with us Professor Sanjeev Singh, Dean, Planning and Development, School of Planning and Architecture, Bhopal, moderating the session for us. He has a master's degree in environmental studies from Melbourne University and a PhD from National University of Singapore, both on scholarships. His research interests are in the field of vernacular architecture, cultural landscapes, and environmental studies. He has been conducting vernacular studio at SPA Bhopal for the last 9 years and has several publications to his credit. Welcome, Sanjeev, in this webinar, and over to you. Sanjeev, over to you. Sanjeev, over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Neelam. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to moderate this webinar, which is on bamboo. And this material is very close to my heart. And bamboo as a material has been used uh, uh, from time immortal, especially in those parts of the world where it is grown in abundance. It has become a part of culture of that particular community where this material is found. Not just in construction, it has been used in many other aspects also. And in construction, it is used in scaffolding, in bridges, in structures, houses, etc. And it has been a material which I can say as it's a people's material. And what we see today as bamboo as a material, what we see today that bamboo as a material is moving from vernacular to urban areas, where it has been taken as a material where you can see this material being used with technology in resorts, in very high-end resorts and all. But there is one thing which I feel that the modern technology uh, uh, is not going towards the rural areas in such a big way where designers can contribute. How the modern technology combined with the cultural traditional knowledge system will be helpful to the people of the rural areas, or I will say will be helpful for the people of vernacular settlements. So we have today with us three very great speakers who have worked in bamboo, and uh, architect Marius Cardenas is from Milan, Italy. Architect Neelam Manjunathan, who practices in Bangalore and has been working in bamboo for past 22-25 years. And then we have Liu Kui from China. She is playing a major role in promoting bamboo as a material all around the world through INBAR. And I will, and INBAR is basically uh, projecting bamboo as a material and have formed a bamboo construction task force. So they will share their journey, their present projects, and future roadmaps for themselves and in bamboo. So what I would request architect Mauricio to basically make a presentation. He will be making a presentation. Before that, I would like to introduce all our three speakers. Mauricio's concern about the negative impact of construction industry on the environment has basically led him to develop a conscious design method. He is considered a leader in innovative sustainable design with more than 15 years of experience using round pole bamboo as structural element for construction. Awarded Italy of Innovators by the Agency for Innovation of the Italian Council of Ministers for his pioneer design and bamboo structure connections. He believes that bamboo architecture should be contemporary, if not futuristic, in order to push bamboo into the urban environment where sustainable construction is urged. His most recent design is the INBAR Pavilion, largest bamboo structure in northern China. Our second speaker is architect Neelam Manjunathan. Neelam is an architect who has worked in bamboo uh, for past 20 to 25 years, and she is an architect, planner, scientist, activist, and theoretician with 2 graduate degrees in science as well as in architecture. Her education is much wider with skills related to sustainable architecture, media architecture, and shared training from GSD Harvard University. Her PG diploma theology is from Dayalbagh University, Agra. Her practice, Mansaram Architects, is based in Bangalore and since 1994. Her architecture is distinguished for healing the biosphere and well-being of the society through use of sustainable material and technologies with special emphasis on bamboo. I will say special emphasis on bamboo. Her work has been published widely, and she has been also nominated for Aga Khan Award for architecture. She had a number of contributions to architecture through bamboo. She has been awarded an Arcasia Award for Architecture, Rethinking the Future Award, And her work, Bamboo Symphony, her office is something very amazing, which I have seen myself. Then we have Mrs. Liu Kui. Mrs. Liu Kui is a coordinator of Global Bamboo Construction Program at INBAR, which is basically International Bamboo and Rattan Organization. She has been engaging in international bamboo construction projects and has worked with the public as well as private sectors in more than 20 countries around the world. Currently, she also manages INBAR Construction Task Force, which she will be talking about in her presentation, a group of almost 30 bamboo construction experts from 18 countries. As the convener of ISO TC 165 timber structures, working group WG12, structural uses of bamboo, Mrs. Liu leads the development and revision of 5 international standards for bamboo construction with global experts. She is also actively participating in the development of 6 technical standards for bamboo construction in China. She has published more than 20 peer-reviewed papers. She is editor-in-chief of 1 academic proceedings, 1 monograph, 1 translation. Mrs. Liu is one of the experts, I will say, in Timber and Bamboo Structural Committee and a member of Sustainable Civil Engineering Committee, organized by Chinese Society of Urban Studies in China. These are our 3 speakers who are well aware and they are experts in this particular material, which we call as people material. Now I will invite Mauricio for his presentation. What Mauricio will be basically talking about, because he's an architect, he will be talking about more towards his design philosophies related to bamboo, and he will talk about how the misconception of bamboo from a people's material or poor people's material could be changed, and he will be able to showcase it to us through his design innovations. He also will talk about design as a tool for innovation in bamboo and its construction. Over to you, Mauricio. Thank you for accepting this invitation. Thank you very much. Now over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this invitation. I'm really happy to be here and to have the chance to share with all of you my experience and to learn from your experiences and from the questions and discussion that we will have later on. So I should start with a presentation. I'm going to share my screen. Here we are. You can see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Right now it's gone blank. Yeah, now it's come.
All right. Well, so I'll start very fastly. I'm going to start with telling you my background. I was born in Colombia, South America, and I had the chance to study during my architecture studies. I studied in Colombia, and during this I had experience to go to America and to keep studying in Asia, in Japan, and that was my first trip to China at the time. After finishing my studies in Colombia, I came to Italy. I've been living here for more than 25 years. I'm both Colombian and Italian, and in Colombia, I was since very young in touch with bamboo and with nature. So as you can see, during my studies of architecture, I was studying all the time natural materials, and I did my final project on bamboo constructions in the university. Always contemporary architecture, because I have always have kind of an interest of pushing bamboo into contemporary architecture, because usually we see always bamboo in natural context, like in resorts, hotels close to the ocean or in the jungle. And that's very beautiful, but it's not helpful for the environment, or not as much as it could be. here you can see it was my experiences in Japan and China. And from here I understood, I was very well impressed from the constructions with natural materials, seen in both in China and Japan, and later on when I came to India as well, seeing how we can build with natural materials, how the emperors in Japan and in China, they were building with wood and with natural materials, while in Europe we were building with stone. So it was very interesting to see how natural materials can be um, very beautiful, can be, and also can last long, depends on how the people, how the user, in this case the emperors for example, were taking care of it. For example, and you will see in this, I'm telling you about this because you are going to see it in my work a little later. Here we can see the study of the art of the Renaissance of Italy. During my studies had also a very strong impact, the geometry and the aesthetics of the Western culture, origins of the Western culture. And then came to Milan, which is the most pushing city in Italy. It was well known for fashion, design, and in industries. And here is where I started my office. But before that, I had the chance to work for an Italian architect, or for Renzo Piano, but in Paris. So I had the chance to have a contact with a very important architect, and I understood very well the use of materials such as steel, glass, and technologies, building technologies that we can see is very normal to see it today, but that is having a very strong impact, in the environment. The use of concrete, massive use of concrete, massive use of steel and of glass are making our environment weaker day by day. So after these experiences, I was working in construction sites. I was doing management of construction site and responsible of the design of facades of very big buildings like skyscrapers and office buildings, etc. I then came back to my origins. I said, but we should go back to bamboo. I should go back to the origins of where I was born and where I lived, and of what I really believed in and what I had experiences in my opportunities of traveling both to Japan and China. And so I started my office, and I started my office 15 years ago. And since the first day, I was already working with bamboo. As you know, I will not, probably this is something that all of you know, but bamboo is a strategical natural resource, as it's contributing directly with at least 6 of the Sustainable Development Goals adopted by the United Nations member states for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And bamboo for construction, why is it important? I call it a positive investing because bamboo is a plant, is not a tree, and grows very fast, that usually people kind of get scared to have bamboo as it grows. It passes from your garden to the neighbor's garden in very short time. But this is a quality, is not a defect. We just have to take care of, have some understand how the plant grows and can be cut, dried, and used. Because the construction process, as Sanjeev very kindly introduced me, the construction process is one of the biggest culprits when it comes to global greenhouse emissions. So us architects, engineers, professors and politicians, clients, developers, construction companies, and universities in general, we are very big responsible for the future of our planet. So bamboo is believed that bamboo, and this is work of Inbar, of course, and that has been very making even United Nations understand of the importance of bamboo and how bamboo can really save the planet. It's an amazing natural renewable resource. As we know, bamboo grows very fast, absorbs carbon dioxide, and releases more 35% more oxygen into the atmosphere, equivalent to the hardwood trees. So from the construction point of view, bamboo is a ready to use product of nature. That's why I'm very fond about round pole bamboo. We have engineered bamboo, etc. And it's very interesting from commercial point of view, but I still believe that is not the best choice for the environment. So I'm still pushing on round pole bamboo. When technology achieves sustainable engineered bamboo, I can start looking at that. But at the moment, I actually have refused some jobs because of that, because I really believe in this this what I'm saying. So this is my office here in Milan, and we experiment with we do research. It's part of our job. Um, since the beginning, due to the use of bamboo, I've been having very has been recognized here in Italy and Europe as a pioneer of the use of bamboo. Italian government gave me the Italian of Innovators award as innovation for the construction using bamboo. And last year, UK, I got the Build Architecture Awards, a sustainable company in Europe. And this is so working with bamboo is very interesting, not only in its of course the people's material, and it's very interesting from an architecture point of view, because usually architects, and in the offices I work as an architect, and as other offices I know, basically working as an architect, you're working behind a computer screen and you're designing with computer softwares, and you choose the materials from looking at projects in magazines or from catalogs. But bamboo is different. Bamboo makes us architects to stand up, to go out of the office, to go to the forest and to check out the material, because it's a material that we don't have the information that it's in a catalog, or companies are selling in the catalog. It's a natural material. It just grows freely, and its qualities are founded directly in the forest. And as I'm without even noticing, I became a bamboo culture communicator, in the sense that I'm invited as a jury member, or teaching or giving lectures as we're doing now. Last year and for this year, I'm Italian design ambassador, and I'm communicating bamboo. I'm the only Italian architect communicating about bamboo. Last year I was in China. This year will be online, and will be a world. So the government will push for a world Italian Design Day. And also I'm scientific curator of the largest bamboo labyrinth in the world, which is in Italy, actually. You can see the picture on the right. And next month in October, we're organizing an event that I will soon will update you about it, so that you can make part of it. You can follow it online, etc. And also have the chance to write articles about bamboo in Italy since 2005. The first article of bamboo written in Italy about bamboo as a construction material, of course, was written by me, and the most important construction magazine in Italy, and it even became the front page. I wrote the first bamboo construction manual in Italian, and was invited to write the preface of this book written in 7 languages about bamboo architecture and design. And in China, invited by Kuwait, actually, I wrote this article about bamboo. INVAR task force, very important, and Kuwait, Liu Kuwait will talk to you about it later. I'm part of this amazing group of experts, and we're pushing bamboo from very different backgrounds, each one of us, and together we're pushing bamboo to become one of the main construction materials in the future. And I did a PhD here in Milan, and the PhD was about conscious design, which became the name of my office. And so because sustainability, I was kind of frustrated that everybody was talking about sustainability. The engineering companies I was working with, colleagues, but everyone had like a very different idea of sustainability, which I was not very. Even in the subway in Milan, you could see, and you can still see, that the companies that have the real estate business, they just put sustainability to sell more. It's not real. The buildings are made exactly the same as they were before. They just have a stamp saying they're sustainable, and that's it. But reality is different. So that's why I started to work from academia to my office, to the practice, to work with conscious design, which is an approach that is really really sustainable. Just for make you an example, and I will show you I will start showing the projects to you right now. Just as an example, it's like imagine designing 100 years ago, and that's an exercise. I will ask the students from the masters in Beijing, in Lantau Institute from Beijing. They will start in a couple of weeks. I will ask them to design like this, to design thinking they were 100. It was 100 years ago, not 200, not 2020, but 1920, because there was no electricity, there was no air conditioning, and thinking like that, you will design, you will use your mind more, and you will design more carefully, and then you introduce technology. If you design immediately with technology, the mind will be lazy, and the result will also be not as sustainable as it should be. So now let's go to the projects, and I'll try to go quite fast so that I will not surpass the time we have. So I'll start with small scale bamboo constructions. I chose some of them. I didn't include all of them, of course. And I decided to show only built ones also. So to understand the results, the reality of the potentiality of using bamboo. So coming from Colombia, I was very, I always admired and still admire, and he's my friend nowadays, Simon Velez, architect. He let's say was pioneer using mortar inside of the bamboo and perforating to include also the bolts inside of the bamboo, metallic bolts, in order to make the connections. But for that it's required, and that's the way that is being built all over the world. But for that you need to have specialized manpower, with which we don't have in Italy, or we have, but it's very expensive. So having experience in the facade industry, when I worked for Renzo Piano, and when I worked as leader of Arup engineering company for facade engineering, I decided to design a system that can be used and built by any company in Europe and around the world. And this is the system which the Italian government gave me the prize. It's very simple. It's just by pressure. And this was the first structure. In the time I brought bamboo from Colombia, which in the pictures are the maximum. It was me together with two of the maximum bamboo experts in Colombia, Marcelo Villegas and Germán. I showed them the project, and I showed them my idea, and they really like it so much that they gave me as a gift the bamboo. They shipped to me 100 bamboo poles for me to work with that, because they thought that the direction I was pushing was very interesting. And that was my first project. It was with no client. The client was myself, and just talking with these people, and they gave me support. And the students and the people working in my office at the time, we were the builders. We all got away from our computers and got our hands dirty. We cleaned the bamboo. We prepared all the joints, the steel work, and we constructed. And this is the result. It was very well accepted in the Italian, Milan especially is very keen of contemporary design and fashion, and this was very well accepted as a contemporary architecture. We're talking about 15 years ago. And then this pavilion remained for 3 years and a half at the place. It was supposed to last just couple for the Milano Design Week, so just a maximum a month. But actually, the Milano city government, they asked me to leave it there so they can use it for public use, and I was very happy for it. And 3 years and a half later, they told me that they were going to refurbish the area. They were going to refurbish the whole area and restore the area where the pavilion was built. So I had to take it away, and I did. And I used the bamboo in a different way. I cut the bamboo poles to make this geodesic cupola. These are the ideas for the joints, and these are the model we did in the office to understand the complexity of this amazing and beautiful geometry. The geometry is amazing, because you can see in the picture, I'm just holding some cardboard pyramids, and just with the geometry is very well, behaves very well from structural point of view. Then if we put bamboo, it becomes 100 times better. And that's how we did. We could even put the joints not at the connect, not at the intersection, but we can even move it 20 centimeters away, and it was working very great. So all of these are experiments, are contemporary architecture, but also experimenting. And it was placed close to it was placed inside a Renaissance courtyard. So the geometry is following the Renaissance geometries, and geodesic is a golden ratio in 3D. So it's very interesting how to the connection between both. Then we dismounted and we took it to Venice, to the Venice Biennale. It was there for the whole of Venice Biennale. We're talking about 2010 now, 2009, 2010. This was in Expo Milano. The Expo in Milan was in 2015, was here in Milan, and this is a pavilion owned by is a private Chinese company called Vanke. Is the biggest real estate in construction company in China. And in their pavilion, I did the only bamboo bearing structure of the whole expo. Oh my God, what's this? Okay, I thought it was myself doing some drawings or something. Anyways, so actually I went to China. The client was very eager to use Chinese bamboo. So I went to China, to Anji, where the big bamboo forests are at, and I was choosing the bamboos and was controlling and checking for the quality of the bamboo that I was bringing to Italy. Also because bringing bamboo to Italy, especially for Expo, had very high standard requirements. And then we did the prototype. These are the connections, and it's the only bearing structure of the Expo, because some pavilions, like the Vietnam pavilion, they could not pass the tests of Expo, and they had to put metallic structures with covered with bamboo. In this case, it's purely bamboo, round pole bamboo structure, and people walk through. So it was very interesting and very great achievement. And next two projects are in China, and there's medium-sized projects. We was invited 10 architects that we work with bamboo. We were invited to do this experimental neighborhood in Baoxi. It's in Zhejiang province. Pronunciation must be very bad, but anyways, that's the name of the place. And and I did. I went back to the system that I had designed for the 2006 pavilion, microclimatic pavilion, and using the same system, adding some more elements and making it more complex. I designed this is the first 3-story house without concrete inserts, and this is the answer. Also, you can see there's earth. The walls are rammed earth, so another material, and I'm using water from the underground for cooling. And the proportions are also proportions that we called we called aurea, or we called golden proportions, but are very nicely connected to the Vastu Shastra in India as well. So this and probably and for sure these geometries have a similar origin in the past and just develop in different ways. Ancient understood very well the potentiality of geometry in the not only for beauty but also for how to say, engineering behavior. And you can see this is the idea of bamboo as a contemporary material. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be contemporary and hopefully futuristic. And here we come back of what I was telling to you, that I was very impressed when I saw Chinese and Japanese constructions, the constructions that were made for the emperors with the natural material, constructions that last until today, more than 600, 800 years old. Some of them are replacing the material. It's the same that we do with our car today. It's the same that we do with our telephones and with our technology today. We change the parts. we don't in Europe we make buildings that will last for hundreds of years, but using natural material, it means that we have to change the natural material and it will not be natural anymore. So for keeping the natural material to be a natural material and using it in a contemporary way, my approach is that of using it as if it was a technological advice. So this house, every time you need to replace an element, you can just replace it because it's dry mounted. And now the last project, and I will go fast as I think just close to the end of the 20 minutes, is the Inbar Garden Pavilion, International Organization for Bamboo and Rattan, as I hope everybody knows about it. Is based in Beijing, and Liu Wei will talk about it in detail. Is the largest bamboo structure in northern China. It's a 32 meters span, as you can see. And in all of the projects I've been showing, but haven't gone into detail about the conscious design, but you can see it on the bottom. You see acoustic control, thermal control, recycling, modularity. All of these elements are part of the design of this bamboo contemporary architecture. The concept comes from the idea of not doing the classical pavilion and the garden, but to make the garden and the pavilion become one. So it's landscape engineering and architecture fused into one. And I got inspired from this Argentinian Italian artist which innovated art by, instead of painting on the I don't know how you call the material where you paint, instead of painting on the paper, let's say, he cut it. And by cutting it, he made such a beautiful and strong, give a strong message and beautiful. So I did cuts on the garden. I did these cuts on the garden to bring in natural light, and he used earth to do acoustic control with earth, and use the plants. And you can see the other pavilions in the expo are pavilions on the soil, on the garden. This pavilion was recovered with the same soil that we took away for building it. So it's giving back to earth what we have taken from it and using it for planting. This is the concept. I don't know. Sometimes you get some yellow lines. I don't know if it's me who, some drawings on top. I don't know if it's me who are doing it or what's happening. But anyways, it looks nice. And you can see here so from the concept to the construction, you can see here the inspiration, the models, the rendering, and the construction. Sketches, my sketches for studying the project, modeling, and the model I brought it to Beijing, and it's now still in Beijing, and use it for the meetings, to explaining what was the idea behind, and to receive the comments and the suggestions. And bringing it also to the construction site was very useful to understand what we were going to do. And then choosing the plants was a collaboration between Italian expert in botanics and a Chinese also gardener. And we choose the plants for the garden. And so the garden is a bamboo garden, and the building is a bamboo construction. And it was called, also the geometry, you can see the geometry is based, and it was very interesting because this is the original curve of the arches based on this geometry and the Fibonacci sequence geometry. And it's very interesting because this was the maximum bend we can do to the bamboo. It's a mystery. It was a coincidence, or actually the geometry has a real response from nature. These are the engineering drawings, how bamboo was, many elements of bamboos. If you can see, the pavilion in Milan had some bamboos like this on the roof. The house was also connection, and in this case, we make groups of bamboo to make these huge arches. Collaboration with Chongqing University and with a bamboo construction company, and of course, Inbar. Oh, I did a mistake and I left here in Spanish the information, but I will read it for you in English. The Inbar Garden Pavilion has 54 meters of span and 40 meters of deep depth. Each arch has 32 meters span and 9 meters of height. And dividing the arches into Opening the arches at the base made the structure look very essential and light. We used more than 5,000 bamboo poles, Philostachys pubescens, Chinese original species, and the diameters are from 8 to 10 centimeters, and the diameter, and the age is from 4 to 6 years old. The principal arches are curved by heating the bamboo poles, and the process of transforming the bamboo into yellow was done also through the fire process, which was analyzed to offer bamboo a 30-year lifespan. Here's some aerial pictures, interior pictures of the bamboo structure. The exhibitions were amazing, 6 months of great exhibitions. You can see the connection between the glass facade and the bamboo structure as contemporary as possible. Because of the reflection of the water, the pavilion was named the Bamboo Eye Pavilion from the public, and I really like that image. That name is very nice. You can see the green roof. Here, the opening day was a world event, international event, and during the expo, there were Inbar organized amazing kind of meetings and cultural exchange events. And the pavilion was received the grand award of the category of international outdoor garden in recognition of innovative and ecological design and execution. And what I was telling you, next year at this the largest bamboo maze in the world, the Labyrinth. Now in October we're gonna do an event called Under the Bamboo Tree, and I'll keep you updated on that. And I'm doing a small but very, let's say, with interesting research structure to present there. And there will be some lectures and conferences that I will let you all know about it. And here is my information for any more further. If you want to go in detail about the projects, you can find me in Instagram, also the website of my company, etc. So very happy to. Sorry if I use some more minutes, but probably I got into some topics I thought it was necessary to give you some more information. Hope you enjoy the presentation.
Thank you, Mauricio. Thank you. This was a wonderful presentation you did, and how the misconception that bamboo as a material is only for the poor, but it design as per the design elements and how it can be contemporized. It's wonderful presentation. I would now request Neelam for her presentation. Neelam So Neelam, I know Neelam from past 35 years, and then Neelam has been working in bamboo, and her firm, Mansaram Architects, has wonderful projects which have been done in bamboo. For me, Neelam, I would like to ask you that how your journey started, and you have been using bamboo for a long time, and how easy and difficult it is to execute bamboo-based buildings and its acceptance to the people also. Could you also tell us about your engagement with various kinds of people, students, professional, policymakers, and basically communities? And your CGPMT is also running some courses which are basically on bamboo appreciation technology. People would like to know the pedagogical approach for the young professionals who want to use bamboo as a material. And what do you think about bamboo as a material of the future in the construction industry? So how can bamboo be brought in mainstream communities? Because what we are seeing that bamboo as a material is coming to urban community through various kinds of and the architects are using bamboo. But how the same architects and designers can take bamboo in a much more revised and refined way with design elements, keeping in mind the cultural significance of the structures to the communities. I think this will be very helpful for our listeners. I would hand over it to Neelam from here. Please, Neelam.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev. Yeah, I'll just share my screen, and I think without wasting further time, I will uh, get on to it. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. Just a moment. I have to minimize this. Okay, I think we are stuck with this. Um, so and I think Mauricio had a very uh, high profile and such a wonderful presentation that Mauricio you gave. I think it makes my task little difficult, but many things you spoke about bamboo that makes my task very simple in that way. And thank you for that. I started my journey approximately about 21, 22 years ago with bamboo. And my emphasis, since I come from a very small state in India, which is Bihar, which has the same situation like India in the world. So it's considered a backward kind of a state. And coming from a very small town with a very simple living methods and things like in tier 3 cities or something like you can say, my emphasis somehow in architecture has always been on simpler solutions, which can be managed by uh, several one second, why is this not moving? Okay. My screen has got stuck. My screen is stuck, it's not. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. Oh, It's going forward. Yeah. Yeah. So, without going into further this thing, this is like a very simple house, which I see here, yeah, as you see here, in which I have always been talking about, even in my architecture, about architecture for the people. And to me, sustainable development has always meant that we meet the needs of this generation without putting at risk for the capacity for the future generations in meeting their requirements. So I have always been trying to do much simpler solutions for my projects. So I will start with my encounter, I would say, rather say, because my encounter with bamboo was in 1999 or slightly before that, but the project actually started coming in 1999. And I'm very happy to tell that Mr. Arun Kumar Bansal, who was the director of Plywood Institute, he is there in the audience today at my request. And I welcome you, sir, in the audience. And as soon as I finish my presentation, it would be nice if I can say hello to you, if you are listening to me. So this was a pantry which was given to me by another IAS officer, which is a civil servant who was, and I was working on this low cost housing at that time, which was, about 250 to 25 square meter, and just about 40,000 Indian rupees at the cost of that. And I'm talking about 1998, 97. And so this project came to me, and it was in the Raj Bhavan of which is the residence of the governor of the Karnataka state. And I was told to make a toilet and a pantry. in there next to this large glass pavilion, which was supposed to be for VVIPs, where they come, and this is the thing. So this is how my actually journey started. And this is these are some of the views. This was a 100-year-old school which was in a very dilapidated state. So I was given very minimal budget and some few bamboos by the Plywood Institute. They provided us with all these materials and these bamboo boards and roofing sheets, and that's what was supposed to be done. And as most government projects, I think people are aware, and I think in most of the countries, they give you the permission today and they want the building constructed yesterday. So that was something which our whole office literally sat there on the site for almost 26 days, and we finished the building on our 26th January, which happens to be our our very important day in India for the country. So we had the governor who invited us for this. So this was something which was the beginning for me. But the freedom which this particular material gave me about so many years ago, which because in India there was not nobody was talking about bamboo, nobody wanted bamboo actually, and there were no at that time I don't think that we had even formulated our any kind of standards or national building codes for bamboo. So it was like a free field, and I think an architect likes it most when he's left free to do anything with the building and the material. And so I had a very absolutely wonderful time experimenting with these buildings for next several years. And so this was this was the next project again given to me by Dr. Bansal, and in the Plywood Institute campus, and it was a 2-bedroom house. Why I'm showing all these are very old projects, but today, since I am addressing an audience where even now people don't find it easy to build these kind of buildings in India, even now. So I just want to show them that it was difficult at that time, but now I think it's much easier. There are more people available, there's more acceptability, and the government also has formed several rules and regulations and policies which is really aiding. So to all of you listeners who are listening, it is possible to use bamboo in a much better manner and much easier now. It just, you have to just make the start. So this was a 2-bedroom house which was supposed to be presenting in such a way that people should associate themselves that yes, even in urban areas, we can build houses of this type and actually live in them. So this is the interior of the house. As you can see, this was in 2002 that we actually finished this house. And I think most of the training programs of early architects and builders, building people actually was under this. And this project was part of TRADA, DFID, BMTPC, and Rajiv Gandhi Rural Housing Corporation, and Plywood Institute. So I think these many organizations. This was what came out of that particular project. And this is another project we did, for a very small housing in a village in the forest, which was for housing for the poor. It was told EWS is economically weaker section housing. And so this was one example that we had put and they had asked us to do, to show the villagers as to how to build with bamboo again. And this also was in around 2005. I'll quickly go through, and this Mauricio is in your country, in Italy, in 2003-4. And this was, I think, the first building in Italy. And it was for a client who was a consultant to India, to BEC, a company, or electric company. He was a consultant and he used to keep coming and going. And he wanted a completely prefabricated house, which he wanted to get into business about. So this whole house, what you see, we made everything here in India and we have shipped it to him. And the budget was so small that he could not afford my plane ticket or something like that. So the whole house was completely prefabricated into proper with the drawings like an IKEA, completely folded. And this is what we sent, including, as you can see, the balconies, railings, and everything that was there. And probably this is the first glass house in bamboo, probably in Italy or probably in the world. This was supposed to be their drawing room and the conservatory where they used to spend their time, in this thing. So, and that's the some more views of the house. And I have I visited this house in as late as 2012. This is close to the Bracano Lake, about 60 kilometers from Rome. And it is in a very good condition and working really well. In 2004, there was a big tsunami, and we had this house that we built in the island of Hat Bay in the Andamans. And this was a prototype. The best part about the thing is that I did not go. We had some engineers whom we trained. We went and trained them, and this whole bamboo and all the materials was from that same place. And we had a lot of coconut poles which had got damaged and they were fallen there, and we used that. So it's a local material which was used, and local people, because most of the time when you have any kind of a disaster, you have a lot of international funds which are available, and people have a lot of time at their cross. So the the rates go really high. So you understand, the whole rehabilitation program should also have livelihood security ingrained in that. With that point of view, we had actually made this prototype with Seed India Foundation, which is into disaster housing. I will go really fast. This is some smaller structures that we did, and just to give you a flip side. And I was doing something like a 5-star hotel on the other side. The projects, which was like a 1,250 rooms, and a 5-star deluxe hotel in Bangalore, probably the largest in the country. And on the other side, this was bamboo, which I was working with, where I had these materials which I was experimenting with. So this is the same client, one Prashant Prakash. These are in Bangalore, which is called the Discovery Village. And this was in 2007. We did a lot of furniture also for them, about some 15 sets of furniture. And this is a very, you can say, the MNC look. It was for a IT company in Bangalore. And you can see this is the today's look. It was a add-on thing for a cafeteria. So bamboo has, in a very different language, we try to use it in that case. This is a project which again Bansal sir had given me in Orissa, but somehow we could not go for the construction of this, which I have not got photographs of these. And there are several projects like that, because the budgets always used to be so small that they could not afford our, the other part of the expenses. So I have been giving them, but I have not got. This is for National Mission for Bamboo Applications, which was supposed to do jungle lodges and resorts in government of Karnataka. But I think in the end, somehow it could not go through. This is we were invited for a Inside Outside Mega Show in 2006, and these are the product designs. So we started also with product designs which really will appeal to people, and as you can see, there are several examples of that. This was again a turning point for us. We were given I was an architect for the state level energy park, and I said, bamboo is the lowest low energy material. Why not use it in as much as possible? And so there's a lot of debris, and I had stone and I had bamboo, so I experimented with as many types of construction systems, which I have been trying to show. And this was one thing which I always had in mind, that whenever I went to a client or I tried to tell a client to use bamboo, they would say, "Can you show me where it has been done?" And then I would not have many examples. So what I thought was, I will keep on changing my construction system, so to have as many as systems as possible. And so in every project, my construction systems actually change, except for some basic things. Everything changes about how you actually take the load. And this is the interiors with all the furnitures in bamboo, as you can see, including the chandelier that is there, that is also in bamboo. And I had 4 or 5 pavilions which I had to build, and I thought, okay, let me do all 4 or 5 different, so that I can again 5 types of systems that I can actually experiment with. And that's how it kept on going. And I have then this is another one in 2006, which is a bridge that we did for the Yamuna Diversity Park, and you can see the biodiversity condition, and it is still there. This is a 50 feet, 15 meter long, and we have hardly got any maintenance done for all these years. So this is a recent photograph put by Delhi Development Authority with Biodiversity Foundation, which was on the cover of their magazine just about 1 year ago. And these were the other gazebos, and this is the The toilet block also we have done with bamboo and mud, and you can see the structure of the bridge from under. I use very less bamboo. That's another one of the things which I feel, because bamboo, I try to use as less bamboo as possible to take the maximum advantage out of it. So that has been my way of working with bamboo. So in 2006 we had one competition. I was not here. I was in Europe at that time. It could not be part of the jury, and we were runners up in this. And this was a shell that I designed at that time, a very large shell. We got, I mean, the project got scrapped later, but this was something which I was looking for always for structures like this with bamboo as early as at that time. And this, as you can see, these are all shell structures and designed very thin shells out of bamboo, and permanent structures, which I always have been talking about. We actually in India, in our part of the world, we are so poor. We actually always try to. I always try to actually emphasize on using our resources very judiciously. So this was that, and this is a bamboo museum built in Palampur, and S.D. Sharma Associates from Chandigarh. They were the main architects, and we were the bamboo consultant for this project. So we did all the working drawings and details, and the tender drawings and the tender details for this one. And these are the things. And this is I think this is visited by several people from all over the country and abroad. And this is a very good museum right now. And then came 2008, and I got the chance to make my own house. Now you can see the span here. This is 175 feet across, and only 3 bamboos. There's a beam made of only 3 bamboos. I will show you some parts of the interior to just show this. So it's mud and it's bamboo. So I went all over just to use mud with bamboo, because these are 2 materials you really, and stone, 3 materials which you get actually almost everywhere, whether it's a city, whether it's a village, or it's a forest. You get these 3 materials. So I was trying to work out a vocabulary, of architecture with these 3 materials. So that's my house of 5 elements, and experiments and testing and checking. This is what I have done, not just with bamboo, also with mud and with stone, and always trying to cut it across as to how to really go about it. These are not photoshopped, and as you can see, even for pergolas, people actually use steel and other things and aluminum. I have used it bamboo, so it's about you can say about 40% mud and 40% bamboo, and about 10% stone, and then we have some very less cement. Actually, you can see that bridge there, very thin bridge. So I always look at very light structures in my building. So this is a as you can see this the roof with bamboo on there. This is a bamboo flooring, and all those behind the bed, what you see are there are bamboo walls actually. And those all these bamboo walls are fireproof. Then nothing happens to it. So now what I'm showing you is a different phase with bamboo, where you can use bamboo for absolutely upmarket houses in a city in any manner that you really want to. And there are some other photographs of the and that's the roof that I spoke about that I have. It's about 30 feet wide and at about 175 feet long. And I have just 3 bamboos which actually take the load, and most of them throughout the span. That is how we have actually used it. So my house, and then immediately I did my office. In this case, I have a double curved shell roof which is over this structure, and then I'll come to my office, in which I have bamboo reinforced roof, which is again a free form shell. So these are as you can see, these are all mud. The ceiling is with mud, and many of the things are the furnitures, and many things are with different forms of bamboo. It's a ply, whether it's a roof. The same time, this was another house that I did. Actually, I don't have the photograph of this. This is also built at the same time at that, around 2008, 2009. It's called the Earth House, and it's in the same campus. And then I somehow got the courage to do my office, Bamboo Symphony, which I call in 2010. And only my principle was design, test, document, and design, test, document, and design, test, document, and keep on repeating it. And I tried to have a lot of data from anywhere across the world, which I actually could not find. So maybe it was a boon in disguise. So I did all my testing myself in a very simple manner because I could not get any structural engineer to actually verify what I really wanted to do. So what you see here is my office built in 2006, and this is the entrance to the house. The stone arrangement that you see in front, it's called sukubai. It's a very auspicious arrangement of stones from Japanese garden, actually. And that's how you enter into the office. And that's the office in different levels. And these are all debris stones, which were from the highway construction. I got them and made I had a Hydra actually used for almost a week just to make them look as close to no, I mean natural as possible. So whatever you see there, it was a flat land, and I had to have a rainwater harvesting structure in the center for my house and for my office. And so the whole thing has been arranged in that kind of a manner, as you can see. And this is a free flowing roof, and you can see those slim columns. They are single bamboo columns taking a load of 4-inch slab, which is reinforced with bamboo, and it has got bamboo fibers, to take care of the bonding between the bamboo splits and the cement. So that was something which we took it as an aspect ratio, and we have put it inside the cement to put it down. And this is how you can, if you see from the other side, this is how you see the whole office. So in tropical countries, we can afford to have these kind of offices. And this is completely oriented to the elements. So till date, it is open like this. I have no proper doors or windows or anything. It's completely open towards the inside. And the temperature control and thermal control has been achieved through the designing and orientation and the heights and controlling the windows of the total building. And for this itself, I got the Aga Khan Award and Lafarge Innovation Award, and I think around 10 to 12 awards for this particular project. This has been written about. My projects have been written about in about over 25 countries, in around 20 languages. Most of the works that have been. This is the inside, as you can see, it looks like a jungle, bamboo jungle, but all these inclinations that you see are structurally relevant. That's not an interior design at all. This is all structurally relevant. And these are more photographs. And then we had these other projects which we were developing, and the same language, bamboo and mud and stone. This is a house that is in the outskirts of Bangalore. Again, the same 3 materials. This was a project which we have somehow got from the government of Gujarat, and again I designed a shell, and they were not very happy with the shell, and it is under process with the government. So I really wanted to show, because I have many unbuilt projects in my kitty. The bigger projects are more in the kitty right now. And this is a metro station. It's very interesting. I did it in 2013. This is again a shell structure, a very long one. And we also had the concourse at the bottom. And just to tell you that India, now Bangalore is going to have the second international airport in the world with a lot of bamboo in it. But my metro station project is still pending with the government, where they want the fire auditing. And the architects of the Bangalore International Airport for the bamboo, this thing is SOM. And I was contacted by SOM in 2017. For 2 months, we exchanged all, mails and everything. So all basic information about Indian bamboo and all the other things and about bamboo was shared by me with them, and when they're told that they will get back to me. And the next thing I hear was from DASO when I went for the BARC conference in Beijing, that they are doing the Bangalore airport. So I did not know that the project has actually gone through, because I was never contacted back. As an Indian architect and from Bangalore, I'm still waiting for the government's audit for my designs on these, while we have the second international airport in Bangalore with a lot of bamboo in it. So, that's a little bit of a, data that I just wanted to share. And this is in Hungary, and no, we did not get the project. This was a competition, and we get very thin bamboo in there in in Europe. So accordingly, I designed it, and this was a museum of music. So I designed it in that way. There's musical walls. I think I'll have to rush through. I just wanted to show the variety of projects which is possible with bamboo, from small, very small things like bus stops and folding toilets which can be there, and to larger projects. This is a housing project in which I have used bamboo in several ways, in different kind of things. In as a ply, as a pergola, as a screen, as several kind of roofing, different kind of you can use it in so many ways, and it is possible to build. This was another project. This is Avilala Ecological Park in another state here in Andhra Pradesh. And unfortunately, again, because of the Andhra Pradesh government after the election, this is slightly at this thing. But this was the kind of structure that we had designed, and this is around 30,000 square feet. And this is the kind of structure, as you can see for the inside. Here are the details. This is a project for a meta slum development for poor people who are given these concrete houses in the cities, like the Dharavi and Adavin, and how it can be actually changed, and how these people who come from the villages, they can be made to feel very comfortable even in a city, and how it can be done with very simple materials and a much lesser cost. So this was our project for, again, a competition actually. And these are the, you can say, the very organic plan. And this is kind of, you can see the main structure, the core structure, which is for the services, that has been made with steel and concrete. And other than that, there are many other structural systems which has been used to take. And this is how it, when it spreads to different towers, you can have different towers like this actually, which actually can be done in a very simple manner. This is another project where the craft is a crafts village. And this is actually, again, at the tender stage. We have done most of the drawings, but again, the government and the corona, thanks to them, this is we are just waiting. This is a very large one, and this is again with rammed earth and a shell roof on bamboo. This is what this is also around 20,000 square feet of area. And this is a food court with bamboo pergola. This is the conference center of the hotel, and this was a 5-star resort at the same in the campus. And we have a 200 feet long bridge which is supposed to be done in there, which we are designing. And this is something we did in the last year in the India Pavilion at the World Bamboo Workshop, and 8 days of work. This is 8 days of work with starting from the bamboo, everything. And this is how, this is a small, this is a very simple solution to how you can actually cover curved space. And this is another millet center, which is, this was the condition in the left. This was a seed processing plant. And this is how it has been actually designed. And this is accepted by the government already. And again, this is also at tender stage. And we are hoping to start the construction very soon. And this is it's finished now. This is a project we finished very recently for a Pegasus Institute of Excellence. And these are some of the visuals of that. And the mainstreaming of bamboo, I think we can see these stalwarts people in my this thing. We have Jasim sir, we have either Ramanuja Rao sir, and we have other dignitaries which we have been trying to. And then we participated in 2016 in Venice Biennale, and we even and we did a global survey in 2018 and presented at the World Bamboo Congress in Mexico. And this is a global survey as to what are the problems actually in the bamboo sector. So all these things are available actually in the internet. So, and the pedagogy that we started actually was with Dalbagh Educational Institute, and that's the connection. This is our first structure that they told for proof of concept that we did, and this in 2006 is still there and is being used by them. And Dalbagh has been really promoting bamboo in a very big manner. These are various projects that we have done for Dalbagh University in Amritsar. Again, 18 days we finished this whole project, including all the furnishings and all that. This is a creche that we have done for them with mud and bamboo. This was a pentagonal roof, and depending on the kind of bamboo that, so it's a very different kind of bamboos in different parts of the country with different people, but it's still possible to do these kind of buildings. This is a project which we are, this is under construction. This is a conference hall. This is one, there are two halls in Dialbag, and the DEI, Dialbag Education Institute, and this is the second one, and this is the one actually right now, both of them are under construction. And this was the structural system, and this is the stage right now, yesterday's photo. We are almost finishing the truss work on this. There's one more campus at Rajabarari. We are doing a bamboo workshop building, which is again a pretty large building. And these are the other works which have been done by architect Molly and architect Piyush with other students of DEI, where we engage in lot of student-teacher engagement. This was another project, Cocoon, which was done in 2014 with RS School of Architecture, Denmark, and their college Trichy. And this has, again, many of these projects have got several awards. I mean, that is there in the web. And this was this was for the FIBRA Awards last year. This was nominated and shortlisted for that. And as you can see, this was bamboo with areca palm, shingles. This is my CGBMT School of Simple Living, which I am now, this is my latest project. And we are summing up. I have miles to go before I sleep. And as a summing up, I will be showing one last project, which is in Maihar, which is the Pedagogy for Architecture for Simple Living, what I call, which is an education, that encourages changes in knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes to enable a more sustainable and just society for all. One definition of education for sustainable development is interdisciplinary learning methodology covering the formal and the informal curriculum. And in this photograph, you see an architect, you see a mason, you see a bamboo person, you see a carpenter, you see a bamboo artisan. So there are different kind of people who are trying to find a solution how to do a particular work. And this was a project. This is the 3D model, and this is how we did. This is a mud and bamboo actually shell that we are doing. We did actually, and this is the kind of local art that we try to introduce in this. And this is done by the local people. That's a very traditional art system, as you can see here. And this is the pedagogy for the building industry, according to me, for simple living, collaboration. And in here, you can see, in the first photograph, you have a artisan reading a drawing. So he has become capable of reading a drawing, and you have an architect learning from a simple, person. And then you have all these people who are actually working as faculty, which were masons and other people at the same, at some point of time. And they're the same project now being visited by some Chinese delegation to really understand how the things was done. I'm ending this presentation today, right now here, and I'll quickly show you a very small.
Thank you, Neelam. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful presentation, and how your journey from 25 years, so how you kept on that journey and you came up with wonderful projects. Thank you very much, Neelam. I would like to invite Quay now for her presentation.
Can I show the video, please? It's only.
You want to show your video? Please do it. Do it.
Yeah. So how do I go there?
The music.
I'm getting it.
As a building material, it would be very beneficial.
चुका है। ये ग्रीन प्रोडक्ट है, ये मेटल एंड प्लास्टिक दोनों को रिप्लेस कर सकता है। The engineering quality of bamboo in this case is completely stretched to its limits because people don't do shells with bamboo. And mud, which is again a material which is used by villagers, it's stretched to another limit. So this aspiration of Ambika to have something very artistic, and aspiration of me to have something cutting edge in bamboo engineering, the aspirations of the people who have been working with bamboo, but they have not really benefited. Financial inclusion, जब raw material हमारा farmer grow करेगा, value addition हमारे rural artisans इसको develop करेंगे, consumption हमारा middle and higher family करेगी, money will flow from higher to lower class. यदि हम उन cement bricks को इस raw material से replace करते हैं, तो पूरी तरह इकोनॉमी रिवर्स हो जाती है।
इस पे तो हमको थोड़ा ज्यादा कमाई लग रही है, मतलब पैसा ज्यादा मिल सकता है इस पे। इसको सीखेंगे तो थोड़ा दूर जाएंगे। लेबर का भी काम किया, सीखने को भी मिला, दोनों। कहाँ से कितना बम्बू फाड़ना है, बनाना है, कमटी, उसका फिनिशिंग करना है, ये सब मालूम हो गया। हमको बहुत लाभ मिला ना।
हमारे पास जितना भी जानकारी है उनको पूरा देने की कोशिश करते हैं ताकि यहाँ के लोग अपने हिसाब से वो काम को आगे बढ़ाते रहे बम्बू को। हम जिस हिसाब से देख रहे हैं ये लोग धीरे धीरे टेक्निक पकड़ रहा है।
ये लोग भी अच्छा से सीख रहा है, कोशिश भी कर रहा है। सामने कोई ऐसा चीज बनेगा तो अपने से थोड़ा बहुत तो बना भी सकता है।
ये लोग कलाकार ही हैं।
Though it is an engineering material, but it is also very artistic. And I thought I will have something which is between art and architecture.
ये जो काम है, पहले गांव में गौण चित्र है, भित्ति चित्र त्योहारों में, शादी विवाह में अपने घरों को सजाने के लिए या दीवार पे चित्र बनाना, ये करते थे। मेरे को ये बहुत खुशी है कि लोग देख रहे हैं, उनके बारे में जानकारी लेते हैं। यहाँ जो अभी जो लोकल हैं, जो पास जो काम करते हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि हम सीखेंगे यार, हमको भी सिखाइए। तो मैं कहूँ सीखोगे तो कम से कम और आगे बढ़ेगा।
हम लोग कहीं भी जाके किया है ना काम, तो हर जगह का अलग अलग ढंग से, अलग अलग डिजाइन से, अलग अलग तरीका से बना है।
Art is a common thread which is connecting people from various strata of society. These artisans already have the traditional skills of working with bamboo, so it's a very equal sharing of knowledge and skills.
बहुत खुशी और बहुत सुख से भाई, बहुत ये संस्थान पर गए हैं, हमारा वक्त मतलब गरीबी घुस गई।
I can see the faces change from doubt to listening to us, having confidence in us, and then now a look of hope on their face.
Yes, Sanjeev, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Neelam. Thank you very much. This was a wonderful presentation about your journey, your projects, and your difficulties also, and your challenges also. I would now like to invite Kwe for her presentation. She is the coordinator of Bamboo Construction Task Force, and which is of NBAR, which is an organization which is in 20 countries and has worked with 30 experts. She, I would see that how for Kwe, the questions which I would like to pose to Kwe will be when was this construction task force established, and what were the main objectives of establishing this task force, and at the moment what this task force have been doing, and how it is helping professionals, or how this organization can help institutions to promote bamboo as a material for future construction, and also what kind of future work plan NBAR has for construction task force. Kwe, it is to you, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sanchez. I will share my screen.
Yeah, we can see it.
It's okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
So, hello everyone. I'm Kui from INBA. As Ninam and Marusha already introduced their projects, design projects. They are very inspiring. But my presentation will focus on INBA Construction Task Force. I will introduce this group from the point of view how INBA organizes global architects and engineers to promote the use of bamboo as a construction material. My presentation includes 4 parts. The first one, I will spend a little bit time to introduce who is INBA, and I will introduce what is INBA Construction Task Force and the major work of this group, and how to become an expert of INBA Construction Task Force if someone professionals are interested in. INBA, our full name is International Bamboo and Return Organization. We established in 1997, headquartered in Beijing, China. Right now, we have the 5 regional offices, respectively located in India, Ghana, Ethiopia, Ecuador, and Cameroon. As an intergovernmental organization with 47 member states, INBA has been fighting and demonstrating innovative ways of using bamboo and return to protect the environment and biodiversity, alleviate poverty, facilitate fairer property. INBA has been promoting bamboo as an environmentally friendly substitute for other building materials in the past 23 years. Our aim is to provide sustainable natural-based solutions to housing shortages, climate change mitigation and adaptation, and livelihood development. You can take a look at our member country distribution map. Most of them are located in the global south, and they are developing countries. So what is INBA Construction Task Force? This group, facilitated by INBA since 2013 and officially established in 2014, helps to coordinate activities of international research institutes and commercial companies who are interested in structural uses of bamboo. We are aiming to serve as the world's premier information and knowledge repository on structural uses of bamboo. The group consists 2 parts. The first one is management team, include 1 manager and 1 chairman. Currently, I am the manager of this group. The chair is not the INBA staff. Right now, Professor Dewi from the UK, he chairs this group. Both of us are the members of the ISO TC 165. And another important part of this group is we have a very big group of experts. Those experts, they support the main work of the task force. They contribute their efforts to standardization, publication, and international conferences related to bamboo construction. And they also share, in the group, we also share the latest research results or findings related to bamboo construction. And we also provide technical supports or consultancy services to those third parties. Right now, we have 28 experts from 18 countries. Some of them come from private sectors, companies, and some of them are professors from universities or research institutes. And most of them are architects and engineers. And you could take a look at the map of the distribution of our experts in this group. I think is quite different from the map of our member country, the member country of INBA, because there are several countries like the USA, Canada, UK, Switzerland, Italy, Australia. All of them are developed countries. So this means that not only bamboo resources countries located in the global south, they are interested in using bamboo as a construction material, but also for those developed countries, they also pay lots of the efforts on it. So I will introduce the main work of this group. The first one is standardization work. This is the most important work for this group. We also carry out international projects and produce high quality peer-reviewed publications, organize international conferences related to bamboo construction, and already done lots of the works for promoting capacity building for bamboo construction professionals, also provide the consultancy services. So the international standardization work is very important for us right now. Maybe some of the experts know that since the early 2000s, INBA has served as liaison organization to Timber Structures Technical Committee of International Organization for Standardization. We lead global experts to produce the first 3 international standards, ISO 22156, bamboo structural design, as well as ISO 22157, Part 1 and Part 2 for determination of physical and mechanical properties of bamboo cones. So these 3 international standards has had significant impact globally, with a number of INBA member countries such as India, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, subsequently developing chapters on bamboo in their respective national building codes, which references this ISO standard. But despite the impact of this initial work, but due to the lack of funding for this, for its continuation, INBA was unable to sustain further development of international standard development in the years since then. Despite major advances taking place in the field of bamboo construction in the subsequent decades, no new or revised ISO standards for structural uses of bamboo were developed, and additionally, engineered structural bamboo products mentioned by Marusho, which was relatively new in the early 2000s, have gained commercial importance, but not covered by existing international standards. So recognizing this gap in standards development in 2013, with the new core funding from China, INBA initiated new research on structural uses of bamboo through a strength grading project with Coventry University from the UK and partners from the Colombia and Ecuador. We get the chance to set up a new working group 12. You can see on the PPT, my presentation, structural uses of bamboo. In this group, we have the chance to develop those standards specific on structural uses of bamboo. So from the 2013 until now, we already published the 2 new standards, ISO 19624 and the revised version of ISO 22157. You can find these 2 publications from ISO's website. And right now we are leading the experts to amend one existing ISO standard. This is also the very important standards for design of bamboo structures, for those round pole bamboo structures. And according, as I mentioned previously, engineered bamboo products already get the commercial importance in the market. So we are right now also developing standards on engineered bamboo products. Meanwhile, we also do not have the work to promote the adoption of ISO standards by different countries, also help different countries to develop their own national standards. Some works we have collaborated with China, and BIS from India also sent the email to us, asked us to provide aids to develop a national standard for India. So the second one is we also implement international projects, like from 2015, we are implementing projects funded by the US Department of the State and the UK Council, led by the University of Pittsburgh and Coventry University, to bring together leading experts of bamboo research to carry out extensive analysis and testing to further enable the safe use of bamboo in urban centers. And in 2016, we have the collaboration to support University College London to travel to China to identify suitable stakeholders, and have the collaboration with China to use the innovative beam technology on round pole bamboo. And Marusho already mentioned that in Imba Garden, we got the supporting from Chinese government and local governments. So we have the chance to build a very big span round pole bamboo structure in Beijing. So we attracted lots of the visitors there. We organized lots of the activities and attracted lots of the leaders of the country to come to visit. I will not spend too much time on that. And the third part is we produce lots of the high quality publications. There are 4 categories of the publications we produce. The first part is Imba technical reports. You can go to Imba's website. If someone needs those e-version publications, you could go to Imba's website and click resources, and you can search bamboo construction. So those publications will, all of them are free for downloading. And we also have the collaboration with international publishers to produce books or academic conference proceedings. We also convene different experts to produce articles on international journals. The fourth one, in recent years, we almost every year, Imba organizes lots of international conferences like the Bamboo in the Urban Environment. We organized a series of international conference in Canada, USA, Indonesia, attracted lots of the participants from many countries. So welcome all the participants in this webinar from India to attend our coming event. This is the Global Bamboo and Return Congress. We organized in 2018 in Beijing. We showcased the latest innovative technologies of how to make round pole bamboo structures. We just show some kind of the frames of those work. And we organized the 4 days international conference on modern bamboo structures and attracted participants from 19 countries. And also lots of the students from different countries joined us. And so first one is we are trying to promote the capacity building for bamboo construction professionals. The first one is every year, supported by the Chinese government. We have several training programs. Since 2005, we already trained more than 1,400 trainees from 18 countries. There are also some kind of the participants from India. Some of them are policy makers, some of them are engineers or architects. Also, we also give the lectures for craftsmen to teach them how to use bamboo as a construction material. And we also provide customer-made trainings for professionals. Last year, I delivered one to 4 engineers from Bangladesh to join the trip in Anji to help them to improve the durability of the round pole bamboos and teach them how to construct. Another part of the trainings, I would like to put the International Bamboo Construction Competition. We organized the last year into those trainings because for example, last year we attracted 150 registration different teams from 13 countries and trained more than 400 students. In some universities, the teacher organized the students to use the competition as short-term courses. So we hope in the future, we can continually to organize this kind of the competition to promote the capacity building of college students. But unfortunately, last year, I remember that we just received one submission from India. So we hope in the future, more students can come to join us. I show some pictures. We are very impressed by those innovative designs. You can see the first row. The first one is designed by one team from Belgium. The second one is from Ethiopia. The third one from China. So all different students with different background, but they are very creative. They use 3 days, 24 hours to construct 3 meters by 3 meters small bamboo house in Imba Garden. They also deliver the presentations. So these are some pictures. Meanwhile, we also provide consultancy services. For example, in 2016, CRS commissioned Imba to conduct a a study on bamboo shelter in Odisha, India. So we helped them to carry out a field study to identify those local spaces for shelter construction. So if in the future anyone need some help from INBA, please contact me. So back to INBA Construction Task Force. If any audiences you are interested in to become an expert of INBA Construction Task Force, you can contact me and provide your CV and endorsement letter, and we will review your applications. So so hope someone could join us in the future. So I would like to share an information. We will organize the 2020 International Conference on Bamboo Construction. It will be an online conference from 3rd November to 8th December. Every Tuesday, we will invite 3 experts to introduce their works of bamboo construction. Thank you.
Thank
So
you,
here
Kwe.
is
Thank
my
you very
contact.
much. Thank you very much, Kwe. This was a wonderful information about INVAR and the Construction Task Force. And I think it will definitely give a lot of information to our participants who are there about what INBAR is doing, how they can become a member, for students also, how they can participate in the International Bamboo Design Competition. So I was looking at all the questions which have been, can you go back to the main screen?
Okay. So I will stop the share.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
so I have a lot of questions from the participants. There are so many questions that we will not be able to cover all of them. What I have tried to do, I have tried to make those questions, compile them in a few questions. So I will start, and I'll put those questions one by one, and I hope, and the questions will be to all our 3 experts, Kwe, Mauricio, and Neelam. The first question which they have asked is about bamboo as a material. So there are so many kind of species bamboo of bamboo, and the joint. First thing is the treatment of bamboo. So some of our viewers have asked about what is a very good, basically eco-friendly system of treatment of bamboo, and is there any natural way of treating bamboo? Mauricio, please.
Mauricio.
Can you unmute yourself? Can somebody unmute Mauricio?
Okay, great. Well, the most common one, and it's with borax, which is it's a boric acid. It's chemical, but depends on the percentage of chemical you use. It can be of negative impact to the environment or not, because basically what happens is that like the proportion, as far as I know, I'm not an expert of this, but from my personal experience visiting and checking the process of protection of bamboo, is 1 to 1.5 the proportional to use, so that the water, when it evaporates after immersing the bamboo in a pool full of water and borax, after when you take out the bamboo and you leave it to dry, the water will evaporate and the powder, the borax, will stay. but the bamboo pole cannot hold. Like if you put it to the percentage goes over 1 to 1.5, then the borax will go into the environment. While if you use 1.5 or less, the borax will stay in the bamboo and would not have any impact in the environment, because it will stay attached to the bamboo and will protect it from mushrooms and from insects. That's basically it. It's not only the protection. That's like the chemical protection, or the, let's say, physical protection of the bamboo, but there are other ways to protect the bamboo. Another one, like one of the most important, is design. If you design correctly, like with wood or like with any other natural material, but even with metal or concrete, if the design is wrong, the material will perish faster. So bamboo should be detached from the ground. Don't touch directly not being contact with humidity. Ideally, that it will have some will be ventilated, the space where the bamboo is also, to avoid the growth of fungi or the attraction of insects. Also, it's very important the whole process of protecting the bamboo when you cut it. When you cut the bamboo is very important as well. Like as I mentioned during my presentation, the architect has to stand up from the computer, from the table, and go to the forest. It's actually not only a poetic, but it's true, because if you just get a bamboo that it's not well treated and you use it, you'll find big problems in the construction. I've seen many constructions that have this problem. The architect is a good designer, the project is well made, well built, but the bamboo in origin has some problems, and that will be a problem for the construction. So it's important to check out, if you don't have a trustable bamboo vendor, or I don't know how you can call it in English, you should be there and check how they're protecting the bamboo, how they're cleaning it, when they cut it, because bamboo as a natural material has a lot of science behind it, or even things that sound kind of out of this, let's say, of not logical, but it has to do with the amount of water that it's containing the bamboo. When you cut it, usually they say that it should be cut in the very early morning, because in the very early morning, the bamboo will empty itself from water. And if you cut it when it's already empty of water, the possibilities that it will be attacked by insects is very, very much less. If it's cut when it's full of water, the insects will attack almost in a few hours. Will be already an interesting food for the insects. So then also how to dry it. There's different way of drying it. The natural way, by just leaving it under the sun, position it diagonally like this, bamboo post like this, inclined, maybe supported one to each other. That's very common to see that in the fields in China, in Colombia, South America in general, probably in India as well. I haven't visited a bamboo factory in India yet. And so there's a lot of techniques, and also the protection with fire. It's what we did with Inbar, supported by bamboo experts, Chinese bamboo experts, and by the Chongqing University Engineering School. The application of fire on the surface not always good for bending, but also creates a patina on the bamboo that will make the exterior part even stronger. There's a lot of little issues to make sure that the bamboo is protected correctly, but going back to it's not enough to just protect it with borax solution. It has to have a lot of different elements to take care of.
I completely agree with Mauricio.
Sorry?
Yeah, so we also go through the process what Mauricio told in India as well. Boric borax I find is the best solution, and we go for 2% solution for boric borax. And that was developed by the Plywood Institute, IPIRTI, which I spoke about. And with that, because in India, it's a tropical country, we have little more infestations that we actually face. So we also do internodal injection of something like a creosote oil or a burnt engine oil or something like that, whatever is available to you. And that is very, very minimal. And with that, in India, we also put it shade dry. We don't dry in the sun because our sun is very strong. So if we shade dry, only then, otherwise it will get cracks. So we don't put it in the sun ever, actually, even before and even after construction. So we always try to give a hat. We need to give it because rain and sun and the changes in temperature actually make the bamboo crack. So there are a lot of sounds in bamboo houses. That was another one. And there's one more method which has been developed, which is called hot and cold method, in which you actually boil the bamboo in that oil that I'm talking about, and then you just remove the fire. So the bamboo actually takes the whole liquid into it, and that bamboo, even if you put for 4 months in infested soil, nothing happens to it. So these are the few ways that I have been working. And in 21 years, whatever the first project also I have done, we didn't have any borer attacks or anything like that. And they are as maintenance free as any other building with timber and other things. So it is not a very intensive, kind of a thing. And other things, as Mauricio told, design plays a very big role, other than these treatment methods, because above, from the ground and from the above, as I said, we have to put as Simon Velez has been telling, you give a boot and a hat to bamboo. So that is how we have to actually do. So these are some of the methods of doing it. That's what I have been following.
The standards you have been working on, INBAR is working on, does it have all the specified processes of treatment of bamboo, and how our participants could get hold of those standards, how they can get those standards?
For those ISO standards, they have to pay to buy from the ISO's website. It's a little bit expensive, to be honest.
Okay, so after the material comes, there was a question posed by one of our participants that there are so many species of bamboo. When, as an architect or a designer, do you see any problems in terms of their joinery from species to species, or there is a standard kind of joinery for all species of bamboo? Mauricio, please.
No, they are actually.
Neelam.
Okay, well, no, it's fine. Okay, so we have actually, India, as Kuwai was telling, India was one of the first countries which actually came up with the standards. First one in 2005, and I was a part of the executive committee at that time. We had actually, it was about 16 species have been identified. They have tested several species of bamboo, and 16 Indian species has been identified, which can be used for structures and in different parts of the country. Depending on, and every place, other than the standards, we also have different kind of traditional construction systems where these houses actually last very long. And those are construction practices with which, if we combine, and they use a particular, they change with the kind of bamboo that is available in their local areas. So if we combine this scientific background of the species that has been recommended by the BSI, and take the traditional systems also and the people's knowledge, wisdom, I would rather say, not knowledge, into account, we can come up with very good solutions in any part of the world, in my opinion. That is how it is.
Mauricio, do you have anything to add?
Well, for me, it's not clear of the question. I didn't understand one part of the question. It was saying.
Okay, the question, what is, we have a number of species.
Yeah.
huge number of species.
Huge number, yeah.
And they might be having their own characteristics in terms of their structural strength and their whatever. So the question posed was that, is there a standard joinery system
No.
to all the bamboos, or it differs from
I
species
missed the
to
joinery.
species?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Because it was the joint. I also didn't understood very well the joint. So it's the joinery that the main part of the question.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, okay.
Basically, yeah. No, I got a little also confused, Nilam, because the question of that point of the question. That's why I disturbed and asked you again, Sanjeev. Basically,
no, it's fine.
basically there's like 1,600 and more species of bamboo.
Very correct.
As far as my knowledge, which is as an architect, I know, and when I wrote the book in 2008, I acknowledge about around 30 species that are adaptable for construction. But that's it's even changing, because now here in Bologna University in Italy, now there's an engineering group studying local species of bamboo, and it's a species that I had not considered as structural bamboo, and they found that it's very good performance. Actually, it's small, small, but it's a very good performance. So basically, what I want to my answer will be this: is not important the species. What is important is the size of the species. The joints will change from size, not from species, because the joint basically will be the connection between the elements. And if it's a big species, can be 25 centimeters diameter, or it's a species that it's like the Italian, which is 6, 7. It's a big difference, right? So the connection also will be different from that point of view, not of the species itself. Like the connections I've designed basically is the same connection. What it's different is the size of the element, because it will we divide it into groups. There's from 8 to 12, from 12 to 18, to 18 to 24 centimeters. So there's the 3 sizes of small, medium, and large sizes of we don't go over 24, because there are species of bamboo that are even 30, 32 centimeters, but they're small quantities. You will find it in small quantities. And also the very interesting part of bamboo is the relationship between weight and strength. So the bigger the element, it loses in a way the lightness. So like the medium-sized species are actually for my experience, are actually the best, also the most beautiful to see.
I would like to add
yeah, please.
No, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, so I just would like to add, in our country, the bamboos that we have actually, so there is the 3 inches to 4 inches, which is like 75 mm to 100 mm. And that's considered with about 10 mm gauge, that if we have, that's the best, it's the most efficient, it gives the most efficient structure. And as the bamboo becomes more thicker, actually it becomes inefficient in making a structure. And also, if the thickness is more, you can get biomass more, but for a building, the weight of the bamboo itself becomes inefficient. So you have to have different kind of a structure for that kind of a thing, which is not very suitable actually, considering the property of bamboo, which is supposed to be very light and strong at the same time. So if we can try to have constructions which are very light and with a minimum amount of bamboo. So in that case, 75 mm to 100 mm with a 10 to 12 mm gauge is supposed to be the best thing. That is for the bigger bamboo. And smaller bamboo, as Mauricio was telling, so we have to bunch it up, because then for curves, for a curve which is a sharper curve, bigger bamboo cannot work.
Yes.
So we have to have thinner bamboo which can be bunched together to make into arches and curves and other things. So that is the thing.
Okay, another question which was Mauricio, you were saying.
Yeah, just a little summary. There's many types of joints, but they are not based on the species. The joints are based on
the size. Okay.
On the, but not only on the size, but also on the design. On the design, there's
Yes,
different.
yes, correct.
Also on the availability of handcraftsmanship, because of course the handcraftsmanship you have in India is not as good as the one, is not for bamboo, is not as good as the one we have in Italy until now, because it's different. Or in China or in Colombia, the handcraft, the manpower specialized in bamboo, or we don't have it in Italy. So the joints change also based on that, and the construction, let's say, environment.
Okay.
Actually, I would, Sanjeev,
yes,
Sanjeev, I'm sorry, I would, actually Oscar Hidalgo had told that, you know, actually India has the best bamboo artisans in the world. And yes, we are trained in a little different manner, but they really know the material very well, even if they might not be really, doing it. And another thing which factor which works in India is the cost of construction is very, very low here. People don't accept high construction costs, which is like the comparison, and you can't even compare the construction cost with what you have in Europe and what we have in India. It's very different. So for that kind of a construction, very specialized kind of a labor is absolutely difficult to have. And one more, Sanjeev, one more factor in actually the joints is the structural system that you are using. So the kind of, if you are doing a shell, if you are doing truss construction, or if you're doing another kind of a construction, the joints will change as per that. So there is no fixed things about other things. So the way you design your structure, anything is possible, but depends on how you design the structural system, and that is what decides the kind of thing that you have. Details, I mean.
Okay, so with bamboo construction,
Time is running.
there are certain apprehension because it's a material which is light. One of the question posed is that how much maintenance intensive is a bamboo building, and what is the lifespan of a bamboo building? So these two things sometimes pose certain questions, so that the clients or the people, architects who need to satisfy their clients that the building will last for such a long period. So what are your comments on that? How much maintenance intensive it is, and what is the lifespan of a bamboo building? Mauricio or Neelam, anyone?
I can start if Neelam agrees. Well, I think
okay, yeah, sure.
That's a very, very interesting issue. I think it's a problem. It's a mindset problem, or a mindset challenge. We are used since the Industrial Revolution. We are used to use concrete, steel, and glass. That's it. Even bricks are always used less. In Italy, bricks are used like for not as it was before, and even stone. So we're going into concrete, but it's just a mindset. We are used to do that, and when we get used to do something, it's difficult to get out of it, unless we find a problem. And now we have a problem. It's an environment problem. So the mindset should change. We cannot continue building like that. We should change we should change it. We should accept that natural things last less. It's like our body. Our body is continuously changing. We don't notice, but the skin is renewing, the hair is renewing, everything is like since we were born, is not our same body. Not even since 10 years ago, is not our same body as before. We've been completely regenerating, and nature is the most intelligent, is the biggest intelligence of all. So I think that a building that has the possibility to be renewed, it's good, and it's not only good for the environment, but it's good for the health, like a building that you can take care of, like a car. So it's a matter of seeing your house as a car, seeing your house that you're not fixing it. You have to fix it once in a while, and depends
Right.
on how much you care of it.
Definitely.
Your car is very in a very bad situation or is in a very good situation. The same for the house or for the building.
I will add, yeah. So I think we have been using timber in our buildings, right? And everyone uses it. And timber buildings are also very, very old. So that is the amount of, when you talked about maintenance, that's the amount of maintenance you need of bamboo buildings, not more than that, definitely. So I have been living myself in a bamboo house, and I work in a building with bamboo, and it's about 12 years. And I think one time only we have really done any kind of maintenance. It is not there. So that is one part of the question. Another one is that actually it is a myth that buildings with natural materials, they don't last, and concrete and steel lasts. Any structure in concrete and steel cannot last more than between 40 to 70 years is actually the life of those kind of buildings. But if you see mud buildings, they are 600 years, 700 years, and they are there. And I think Mauricio comes from South America. You have some 400 years old buildings in Bahrain construction is bamboo, 400 years old. In Bangalore, in Bangalore, we have 200 years old buildings. The bamboo has been changed only once in 200 years old. So if you really talk about that, it's a myth. There are several myths attached to bamboo, and the problem is about the marketing. I think in my video, that's what I wanted to show. You have cement and steel producers who market their products. Who will market bamboo? Who will market mud or something like that? And that's the biggest problem. Same thing with fire rating also. Bamboo is as good or as bad as steel, and this has been proved in the fire situation. But still people keep asking questions about fire. But if a steel building falls, nobody will ask that question. But if a bamboo building, anything happens, the question is asked. So that's a problem of marketing, how you market the thing. So I think we really need to do a lot of work in this direction. Probably Kwai has a lot of work to really promote bamboo in several parts of the world, so that people can come, and we have more architects who can actually get much more projects where people will listen to us. Yes, bamboo buildings actually last and they work better. And one plus point is the health of the healthy. You feel much more healthy in a building with natural materials, especially bamboo. Imagine touching a bamboo and touching a plastic pipe or aluminum pipe in your hand. Just the difference of that. I just, I think that's all I can just say. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, we have already overshooted our time by around 45 minutes. So it was a wonderful session, and it was an honor to moderate this session with Mauricio, Kwai, and Neelam. And I will now hand over this to Neelam to wrap up the entire session. Neelam, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you so much. And I heartily thank Mauricio on a very short notice. Mauricio and Kwai, they both actually agreed to participate in this webinar. Thank you so much, Mauricio, and thank you so much, Kwai.
Thank you for the invitation.
And Sanjeev, you really took out time and you have put in a lot of efforts to moderate the session in a very sensitive manner. Thank you so much for that. And I would like to call Mr. Subramani. Can we see you? I think Mr. Subramani.
Yeah, he's there. He's there.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, can we see him on the screen?
Unmute. Can somebody unmute Subramani ji?
Mr. Subramani, can you unmute Chitra Subramani, sir? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
was
Subramani, so please.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah, we are, as Mr. Singh was saying, we have already gone beyond the scheduled time, but still I would like to share 3-4 lines on the excellent presentation that we have gone through today. And also, like, Inbar is very, very happy to be part of this webinar as a co-organizer. And just a quick thing is like it is a big testimony by seeing all those modern structures by Mauricio, my colleague Kue, then Neelam, that Inbar is much the attitude towards Inbar is much different than what it was some 20 years back. Because I know, because I have been with Inbar since the very beginning, since its establishment. So I know I can feel the change of how people look at bamboo during 20 years back and how they look at it now. And as just to share with you, Inbar's mandate, in addition to construction, what Kuwait has been explaining to you very well, we work on, as part of our mission, our main mandates are on livelihood development, bamboo for climate change, then South-South cooperation, which includes technology development, technology transfers from various countries to some other country which don't have it. And also we're working on national policies, policy study, development, and also recommendations, drafting policies. And one last thing is that Inbar has identified about, out of all the UN Sustainable Development Goals, 7 has been identified where bamboo can contribute immensely, like ending poverty or affordable and clean energy, sustainable cities and communities, then sustainable consumption and production, climate change, South-South cooperation, life on land, all those things. So we have a great future, a lot of potential, especially for the construction sector from bamboo. And we have a lot of the best institutions, the best of experts. So there is a lot we can contribute towards the SDGs. And at the end of it, I must definitely appreciate Professor Sanjeev Singh very efficiently managing the whole thing. Of course, time and everything is not in hand, because we had an excellent platform to share a lot of things, knowledge sharing, and also excellent presentations by Mauricio, my colleague Kue, Neelam, and I must not miss the great coordination by Chitra and Piyush Prakash. Thank you very much, all of you. And it may let us look forward to meet again with more knowledge, more experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Subramani. Subramani is a country director for
No,
Inbar.
I'm the regional director.
And thank you. Okay, regional director. Yeah, okay, sorry. I thank Professor Dr. Prem Kalra, the Albak Educational Institute, and architect Molly Caprihan, coordinator, and architect Piyush, who is the faculty of the Department of Architecture, for partnering as our institutional partners and co-hosting the session. I also thank you participants for actively participating in the webinar with extreme enthusiasm. This was the last webinar from our Faculty of Earth. The next series is from Faculty of Fire. And I would...
When is that?
Neelam, you are mute. Please unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything was gone, huh? No, nothing was heard.
Yeah.
This was the last webinar from our Faculty of Earth. The next series is from Faculty of Fire. Energy has become another fundamental necessity for our daily life. Our next set of webinar and even the post on social media will address the issue of energy. Our next webinar is on achieving energy equity, which is on 11th September 2020 at 4 p.m. I'm really very happy to have another announcement from us is about the Cultural Fest 2020 or World Bamboo Day, which is 18 September 2020. I think Dr. Ganesh, director of AAAD, if you are in the audience, can you just raise your hand? So on that day, we are actually doing okay, I don't know. We are doing a cultural fest, which with several programs, which I think, Chitra, can you put it on the screen? here. And we will also be starting a master class on bamboo, which is a 5-part series, in webinars. We have Bamboo Society of India, one of the oldest bamboo society in the world, and World Bamboo Organization co-hosting it with us, and with the help of Aditya Academy of Architecture and Design, Bangalore. I request Dr. Ganesh, Director AAAD, to join me in the announcement if he are around. And I think he is not there. Chitra, is he there?
He's actually not there. I looked for his name.
Okay. Okay. So thank you once again. Thank you once again. Stay healthy, stay safe, and have a great weekend. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Neelam. Thank you, Mauricio. Thank you, Kuwait. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Mauricio. Thank you, Kwai. That was great.
Bye.
And Kwai, my application is pending with you for a year. Yeah, I think we could talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, Mauricio. See you all at some time. I hope
Kuwait,
so.
bye.
Thanks to
Thank you.
Corona. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I have stopped recording. We can just close the YouTube, no? I mean, yeah, as soon as the thing finishes. Piyush, can you close the YouTube, please? Stop the YouTube. It will be going live even now. Chitra, can you message him?
Yeah. Sure. Okay, have you stopped recording, ma'am? Should we stop the whole thing? You stopped. You have a copy of recording, right?
Yeah, I have a copy of the recording, but I mean, I have stopped recording now.
Piyush, can you stop the YouTube link as well?
Pardon?
No, I'm talking to Piyush. Can you stop the YouTube link, Piyush? Okay, thanks.